Saying, yeah, you remove it from one state of matter to another state of matter.
Yes, and then
Common
also
sense, science number one.
to an Excel format
Yeah,
that you see on my affidavit as
Yeah.
an extra A.
right?
But after doing all this, the original data remains the same.
Same. Okay, fine.
nje ukuguqulwa kwedatha isuka ku lolu hlobo esingathi kuthiwa i-XRY uyisa ku-PDF iguqulwa nje isimo kodwa ke
Number would be converted into a 7. And that 0 is now rendered nugatory. In other words, for you to be able to work on that data, this 0 must be removed. Hence, I say you convert the original number into something that will enable you to work on it, not so.
Just to mention it, edited.
Yes.
Edited.
Yes, because I have edited that zeros, the plus 2 sevens, the plus and whatever, and I have took
Yes.
some of the numbers, which are 100, 10 triple ones, 2 1 whatever, or a small number that is not a telephone number.
Yes.
I took them out. So
Yes.
I edit that data I'm arranging for my A and B to able to read the information. So it can give me the chart if we need to have a chart, which is an extra B in my affidavit.
No, we can't do that.
esiyenzayo ke thina ukuthi kukhona lezi namba ezinjengo-0 kuqala phone number noma inamba into enjengo-plus 27 enambeni noma lezi namba ey'ncane no-100 kuyasuswa konke lokho uma esefuna ukuqhubeka nokusebenzisa define.
Now you're saying, however, the fact that you're converting that number does not mean that you're manipulating the situation. If you're working on numbers, although you convert them, you don't manipulate them. Manipulation involves an element of dishonesty. So you are not there. Not so.
No.
Thank you.
But angikho ekuguquleni izinto ngoba uthi ukuguqula izinto usho ukuthi ngingafaka nje nokungethembeki lapho athi cha ngikho lapho.
Thank you.
But I think I understand you to mean that you don't manipulate or convert the original.
Yes, whatever is talks about manipulation,
Yeah.
conversion, I refer to the original data.
Yeah.
Cha uma kukhulunywa ngo-manipulation conversion hayi mina ngisebenzisa idatha njengoba ifike injalo.
Thank you, Mr. Mabasa. I'm humbled by the fact that although you're saying you convert, however, manipulation is excluded, which is key. Manipulation involves dishonesty, but that's not you. Thank you. Now, you have been requested to put on record certain numbers here. The first number is on index number 9. That is on page 10 on exhibit S annexure C. That is indicated there as a telephone number 2723995787. This court has heard that it's a number that on many occasions that it's a number that is attributed to accused number 5. In other words, this number is associated with him. How the state will explain, but the impression that the state has created is that this number belongs to accused number 5. But as I'm saying, I don't want to put words into the mouth of the state. I'd rather use the word associated, used by accused number 5. I'm just trying to avoid to use the word belong to number 5. but it is associated with him. But we now can see on index number 9 that Mr. Ncube, that's accused number 3, has saved this number in his cell phone as Mfoka Khumalo. It doesn't say, and accused number 5's names are Fisobuhle Ntuli. It doesn't say Ntuli, not so. It says Mfoka Khumalo.
Yes, it says Mfoka Khumalo.
Thank you.
Yebo, the number that was 072395787. Noma ke njengoba ibekiwe kuthiwa iqhumekeka kumsolo wesihlanu. Kodwa umsolo wesithathu lapha indlela ayigcine ngayo efonini yakhe uyibhale ukuthi uMfoka Khumalo. Ayizange ibhale ukuthi
Now, let's also go to index number 25, which is page 12 of the same exhibit. Are you with me?
Yes.
Thank you. May you kindly read, because I don't want to sound like I'm putting words into your mouth.
Okay, index
Yes, may you kindly
25.
read that information again?
Index 25. Mshana Ntuli plus 2771519 It's on the SIM card.
to the 4. Number corner 0715951239.
Is it VO or VO?
4.
I say, okay.
Or VO.
You know a brandy called VO?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Mabas, I don't think you read everything there. There is index 25. There is name, Mshana VO. There is telephone number, etc. Now you're reading other portions and then you're leaving other portions. Can you please read everything that is it's inscripted there in index number 25, please?
Must I read also index 25?
Yes.
Name. Okay. Index 25. Name, Mshana Ntuli. Child, plus 27715 951239. Storage, SIM card.
Thank you.
Okay, lana ke index 25. Igama Mshana Ntuli 4. Telephone 277159512339. Try storage la igcina khona try SIM.
Thank you. Now again, this number has also been attributed to accused number 5. It's associated with him. The impression again that has been created this court or at this court is that this number also belongs to accused number 5. But now, accused number 3, Mr. Ncube says, what is inscripted or what is contained in index number 25 is a true reflection of the state of affairs. This number, he saved this number in his phone as Mshana Ntuli 4. And now the full description of what that Mshana Ntuli 4 means, he says, this person is called Lungisani Ndwandwe. But he did not know him before he could save his number. He got introduced to him by Mabungu Ntuli. This Lungisani Ndwandwe, whose number is in there that ends with 239, in other words, is a nephew to Mabungu Ntuli. Accused number 3 got to know this Lungisani Ndwandwe through Mabungu Ntuli. Hence, he saved him as Mshana Ntuli. If you know in culture, when you are an uncle, you call abazukulu bakho abashana ngisho. Yes. So, in other words, this Lungisani Ndwandwe whose number is 239, was Mapunguntuli's nephew. This number, according to number 3, Mr. Nube, it never was or is the number of accused number 5. It has always been the number that belongs to Lungisani Ndwandwe. But as a cherry on top, Lungisani Ndwandwe is still available. You can just come and confirm what they are contending. Do you understand?
I do understand. No comment in that regard.
Thank you.
Uthi-ke le number lena indlela eyatholakala ngayo uthi-ke wathi umsola umeyithola wayithola ukuthi inamba ayithola kuMabhungutuli waseyibhala njengokuthi hayi umshana kaMabhungutuli ke lo kanti-ke le number lena imninwayo kokulungisana Ndwandwe kwangeyona kaMsola wesihlanu. Thithi hayi akukho akuphawulayo.
Thank you. Now, you would also see that on index number 80, let's go to index 80, page 18. Are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Can you please put that information as it appears on index number 80 on record, please?
Index 80, name Ngani, tel plus 27 76 642 7007. Storage SIM.
Thike lana-ke i-index 80 igama uNkani ifoni 076 642 7007 thola la igcina khona ikusim.
Thank you. Now, this is the number that he has been using to phone accused number 5 through. Accused number 5, he tells me that is now accused number 3. That accused number 5 is also known as Nkani. So the information that is contained in index number 80 is a true reflection of a state of affairs as accused number 3 knew it. Just an addition thereto, I had the privilege or liberty to also talk to accused number 5. It does admit this number, that this is the number that he knows. He also admits that he's also known as Nkani. So this information that is contained in what you prepared in Exhibit S and Lecture C is a true reflection of a state of affairs that these two accused persons, that is now accused number 3 and 5, know. They've said to me, I must say again, thank you very much to you.
I thank you too.
Thank you.
Athi lana the number lana u-0642 7007 umsolo wesihlanu uyayazi inamba nomsolo wesithathu uyasho ukuthi cha naye uyazi ngale ndlela ebekwe ngayo siyabonga ukuthi cha uyabonga ukuthi
Thank you.
kubhalwe kahle.
Now let's go to page number 29 again, on index number 197, 197.
Yes, I'm on it.
May you kindly place that information on record?
Index 197,
Yes.
name Ngani, tel plus 27 715 073517. Storage SIM card.
Thank you.
Sorry,
Chidana-
page number 21.
No, that's
29.
29.
Page 29.
Yes,
Yeah,
index
okay.
number 197.
197, fine, yeah.
Yes.
So lapha ngaphansi kwe-index number 197 igama ebhalwe ukuthi Nkani lapho ke ifone ethi 027 715 073517.
Thank you. Now again, accused number 3, Mr. Meyiwa, instructs me that what is depicted in here is a true state of affair or situation as he knew it or as he knows it. That the number that we have just read into record on index number 197 is one of the numbers that he has been calling when he wanted to talk to accused number 5.
Njenge msolo sithathu lena yenye number ayisebenzisa umethisa ukukhuluma nomsolo wesihlanu.
And again, I also delivered to talk to accused number 5. He also admits or confirms that this is his other number as well.
Msolo wesihlanu naye avuma ukuthi le yenye inumber zakhe.
Now, accused number 3 instructs me that I should bring this to the attention of the court, that he would not have any reason whatsoever at one stage to save accused number 5 as Nkani, and then at one stage save him as Mfoga Khumalo or Mshana Ntulivo. He would not have any reason to do that. To him, accused number 5 was Nkani. He would have been Nkani, irrespective of the fact that he could have used 100 numbers. Those are my instructions. Do you understand?
Msolo wesithathu ukuthi bengeke athande sigcine umsolo wesihlanu ngamagama amaningi anjengokuthi umshana Ntulivo. Yena nje wamgcina ukuthi igama lakhe uNkani.
Now, thank you. I know that you have not been involved in the compilation. You were privy. I assume that you have also not been part of the compilation of those affidavits that the state have just referred to, which were compiled by Colonel House, where it is depicted that that number that ends with 787-239 are numbers that belong to accused number 5. We have not been involved in that process now. So,
I was not involved.
Thank you.
Ngabandakanye lo msebenzi.
now, my instructions are that what is contained in those affidavits, which depicts the number that ends with 787, which belongs to Mfoga Khumalo, who's Musa Khumalo, and the number that ends with 239, which is stated in index number 25 as Mshana Ntulivo, who his real name is Lungisani Ndwandwe. That information that is depicted in Colonel House's affidavit or Stain's affidavit, which depicts these two numbers as belonging to accused number 5, that is a gross misrepresentation of fact. Actually, that is false. You don't know about it.
No comment.
Thank
I
you.
was only involved in the analysis of the data downloaded from the device and the SIM card.
Thank you.
Lokho kubhekwe njengokuthi number 787 bhalwe ngokuthi Mfoka Khumalo umuzi nale bhalwe ukugcina ngo239 ebhalwe ukuthi Mshana Ntulivo kuthiwa ke ekalungisani Ndwandwe kuthiwa cha akona amangala wathi mina angazi lutho ngalokho kunemphawu.
Thank you. Now we are putting at rest your work with regard to the cell phones and the numbers that you have downloaded. Thank you. Now, you recall that some time ago you also testified about Exhibit S. That is now the downloading of the photos that were found in accused number 3's phone. Do you still remember that?
Yeah, I do remember.
So let's focus on exhibition S. ngiyakhumbula lapho.
And that the photo album that you compiled was marked Exhibit S. As I'm saying, it's already on.
I-albhamu ke leyo iyalethelwa njengesikhombiso S.
Thank you. Now, Exhibit S consists of a number of photos. I would want us to go through certain photos and just to clear up certain issues. I'm not so sure whether I've got Exhibit S before you, or I'm going to request the state to beam it for us. I think that would be more simpler. Now, before we go there, let us start with the following preliminary issues. Is it your version, Mr. Mabaso, that the album that contains the photos in Exhibit S are photos that you retrieved from the cell phone of accused number 3?
Ngathi uyiqinisele ukuthi izithombe ezibukhombe ezilapha ku-exhibition S iy'thombe wazikhipha iselfoni kamsolo wesithathu.
They were retrieved from a memory card.
Wathi hhayi lisathwala ku-memory card.
Yes, a memory card that was inserted in accused number 3's phone.
Yes.
Wathi ifakwe efonini kamsolo wesithathu wathi yebo.
Thank you. Now, is it also true that certain photos here are photos which were downloaded, and some photos here are photos which were original photos? In other words, accused number 3's phone were used to physically take those photos.
Ngathi kuyiqinisele ukuthi ezinye zezithombe zazithathiwe ezinye-ke zazilethiwe kuleyo foni.
When the picture, a photo is on a memory card, it's
Yes.
not, it doesn't record whether the picture was taken by the phone itself
Yeah.
or it was sent, because the memory card, in most instances, they change it into different devices. So it always stores the pictures taken by those different devices.
Makuwukuthi-ke isithombe siyabekwa ku-memory card akhombisa ukuthi sisathathwa yileyo foni noma salethwa, ngoba i-sim card ingayithathwa yiswe kumafoni ahlukene. So ngenzeka ukuthi ibe namafayili wonke ey'thombe avela kuwo bonke lo makhalekhukhwini la yayifakwe kubona.
I'm getting a bit lost.
Sorry.
Okay.
However, if the phone, the device that the person is using,
Yes.
as it can record and keep that record into a memory card, it can tell us if it's originally from this phone,
But uma
the
ukuthi
originality.
leyo foni leyo yona ethatha isithombe ngenzeka ukuthi ikwazi ukugcina nemininingwane yokuthi kokuyiyona yini eyathatha leso sithombe ukuthi sithatha nini.
Thank you. Now let's go to the phone that you worked on that day. Just in line with what we've just explained to this court, what would have been the position of the phone that you worked on as you prepared Exhibit S?
What was in the phone?
No, not what was in the phone. We have said something akin to if the phone is in the position to, there are phones where you are able to tell whether a picture was taken through that phone or was stored in a memory card and everything. That's why you said. See, I think that's a technical language that you use, not so.
Yes,
So
yeah.
I am saying, Mr. Mwasa,
Yes.
I am saying, on the phone that you worked on that day, what is the position? Are you able to tell this court whether photos were taken from that phone or not? Or in fact, some of the photos here, some of the photos were taken from that phone or not?
Manje kule phone wayisenzisa lelo la wayihlola uyakwazi yini ukusho ukuthi khona yini ezinye zezithombe ezazithathwe ngayo leyo phone noma cha?
Even though I can't remember very well, it's been a while since working on this.
You can go through the photos.
But no. But some can be from the phone.
Athi noma sekuyisikhathi ke kanje kusebenza ngalento ngenza ukuthi ezinye zivela izithombe ezathathwa ngayo leyo phone.
Thank you. Just to help you, Mr. Mabasa, let's go to page number 12
But
of Exhibit S.
12.
Yes. Are you
Yes,
with
I'm on
me?
the page.
Excuse me?
I'm on the page 12.
Yes. What photo is depicted there?
Yini ke lesithombe sibonakala lapha ku page 12?
I see a person with other people around.
Cha engibona umuntu nje nabanye abantu abaseduze naye.
Thank you. What is written on top of that photo there?
Yini
In
ubhalwe ngenhla leso sithombe?
IMG 2014 1026 1731 40.
IMG 2014 1026 173114.
What does that mean?
Chaza ukuthini lokho?
It means the picture was taken or was received or whatsoever on the date that is written there, 2014-1026, 1731, 14.
Chaza nje ukuthi lesi sithombe sathathwa noma samukelwa ngomhla 2014 1026 173114.
So you're not in a position to tell this court whether this photo was taken from the phone that belonged to accused number 3.
Manje usho ukuthi akwazi ukuletha isiqiniseko sokuthi lesi sithombe sathathwa ifoni eyikamsola wesithathu.
Yeah, at the moment, no, I cannot tell unless maybe there's an original.
But hayi njengoba kunje angikwazi ukusho ngaphandle kokuthi mhlawumbe sithole i-original.
Now, when you say it could have been taken, or you're not in a position to tell whether it was taken or it was sent to a phone that belongs to, no. Just repeat what you said again about being taken or sent or received.
I said it's a picture
Yes.
which shows a date
Yeah.
and time that might have been taken by the device or received by another device,
Athi-ke isithombe
from
esikhombisa
another device.
isithombe esikhombisa idate nesikhathi. Lesi sithombe ngenzeka ukuthi sathathwa ngaleyo phone noma satholakala siphuma kwenye sithathwe enye phone.
What is the significance of that date there? I mean, of that time there? What does that time mean?
Isikhathi sisho ukuthini?
We call it a serial number of a picture itself.
Ukuthi sithi inombolo yesithombe ngokwazi.
As the pictures don't have serial numbers, so we go to when was it received or taken, which is the date that you see. And then the IMG is the abbreviation of an image on the date and time. So we take it as a serial number of that picture.
Lesi bayiserial number yalesi sithombe ukuthi ngasekuqaleni kuthiwa IMG uchaza ukuthi isithombe lesi bese kuyakhombisa nokuthi lezi inombolo ezikhombisa ukuthi sathathwa nini. Ukugcina kuyigama lesithombe.
Mr. Babasa, was it not your testimony originally that information that is encapsulated there, 26/10/2014 and the 17/31/14, that is indicative of the date and time at which this photo was taken?
Like I'm saying, the originality I cannot say at the moment. It's been a while, but it shows the date and time when that picture was taken. That's why I'm putting all receipt, because I'm not so sure what was happening with this picture by that time when I work on it.
Ngikwazi ukuthi ngichaze ukuthi lesi sithombe sisuka phi noma sathathwa ile phone lena noma sathathwa enye ifoni. Yikho ngeke ngasho ukuthi ngibheka nje inombolo lesi ngisho ukuthi impela sathathwa ile phone noma sasiphuma kwenye.
However, I don't remember saying it was taken by the device that I downloaded.
Kodwa ngikhumbule ngisho ukuthi lesi sithombe sathathwa ile phone le engakhipha kuyona izithombe.
Thank you. Now, what will it take for you to remember that this photo was taken on the 26th of October 2014 at 17 hours 31:14 seconds?
If the original data tells me that, then I will be able to elaborate it.
Uma ngiphethe idatha le phuma khona efonini ingakaguqulwa hayi ngiyakwazi ukuthi ngibone ukuthi lesi sithombe sathathwa.
Mr. Babasa, we should have that original data.
No, I was here for another thing, not for today, so I don't have.
Ngiphethe ngoba lana bengizele lokho bengingazele izithombe, so anginayo original data yesithombe.
And if I remember very well, I think somewhere last year, during my testimony or after, there was a request of pictures, of all pictures that I retrieved from the downloads. And it was given to each and every one of you in a form of a memory stick, if I remember very well.
Ngikhumbula ke kwaba ne-memory stick wonke umuntu wakhona la wayithola eyalezi ithombe engasikhipha kula maphepha.
Yes, Mr. Mabasa, in line with that testimony, you specifically told the court that information there signifies the 26, that 2014-10-26 signifies the date on which this photo was taken. That 17/31/14 signifies the time at which that photo was taken. That was also confirmed by Colonel Stein.
I can't remember, I can't recall if I did say so.
Ngikhumbule ngilethe isiqiniseko sokuthi lana kulethwa usuku la isithombe sathathwa ngalo nesikhathi ukuthi ke ukuthi lokhu kwaphinda kugcizelelwa u-Colonel Stein.
Let's go to page number 17, Mr. Mabasa.
Page 17, yes?
Yes, are you with me? What do you see there?
Two guys next to the car, and there's the thing around.
Ngibone insizwe embili esiphambi kwemoto and futhi kuyabonakala ukuthi khona nendlu la isithombeni.
Thank you. What is inscripted just above the two, in that photo there?
IMG
Yes,
2014-1026,
Yes.
1728,
yes.
39/001.
So lana kuthiwa IMG 2014-1026 1728-39-001.
Thank you. Signifies the date, the month, and the year on which this photo one signifies the time in fact, the second, no, the hour, the minute, and the second at which this photo was taken.
Uthi lana usitshela ukuthi inombolo lezi ezilapha zikhuluma ngosuku, inyanga, iminyaka, nekhuluma nangesikhathi, nemizuzwana lapho isithombe sathathwa khona.
With the witness the first time around, is he now being cross-examined on the same issues, and the witness said that he's caught off guard as he only came here to testify about Annex C.
Thank you, madam. I hear the concern of my colleague, madam. I think I'll be very cautious in my approach if my colleague then says I am trying to be unfair to the witness, but I'll be very cautious.
I'm not saying that.
No, he hasn't said that.
No, he's saying that.
No, he didn't say I'm very fair. I am being
asking
unfair.
him, Mr. Mnisi, wait, I'm asking him, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we're just saying the witness is being cross-examined and on issues that he's already testified on.
Yeah, let's undergo your cross-examination. The last time.
He did.
Now we are re-cross-examining him again.
May I contextualize that?
Yes.
Thank you. It should be remembered, my lord, after needs to be brought together so that each piece of that evidence fits in a puzzle in order to form.
Which procedure is that?
I'm a bit Shakespearean, my lord, but let me come down to the level of generality. Yes. What I'm trying to say, my lord, is after this witness has testified,
Yes.
this court went on to further hear a lot of other information,
Yes.
the basis of which is we need to specifically, as litigants, us and the state, we need to fit that information in the proper space in the puzzle so that we form a holistic picture. I'm not basically trying to be unfair to this witness here. I'm trying to
you can
build a certain
re-cross-examine.
picture.
No. To be fair to this witness,
Yes, madam.
let him read the evidence which he adduced. How many years? How many months ago? Yeah.
I think that
No,
was
that's the only fair way. Hello?
8 or
6 months ago.
6 to 8 months.
That's it. Let him revisit that evidence.
as
Then you can re-cross-examine him, to be fair to him.
yes, madam.
Yeah,
yes,
please.
yes.
If you want to do that, do that. But I know of no procedure, which, as you say, because you've involved in a myriad of other issues after this witness has testified, you want to put the subsequent myriad of information which you have heard and which this witness never had the opportunity to hear into a proper perspective. That's what you're saying. And
My lord,
you want to fit it.
No, my lord.
That's
no,
what you
no,
said.
no. This witness, my lord, with due respect, does not have to hear the information that was proffered before court subsequent to his testimony. He is only here to give his portion of the testimony. It is my duty as a litigant and the state's duty as a litigant on behalf of the state to take that information and fit in those little puzzles in order to form a holistic picture, man.
Yeah, okay,
It
fine.
is not for him to do that. May I request the opportunity to proceed, because I'm just about to wrap up.
This court, in view of fairness,
Yes.
this witness must be accorded an opportunity to go over his evidence, and then you can re-cross-examine him. 8 months ago, that's what he says. That's why he says, I can't remember. I can't remember. I can't remember. Okay, to be fair,
Yes, ma'am.
that's it. I don't say you can't cross-examine him. I say to be fair, let him revisit his evidence and the cross-examination he underwent. Then you're on equal footing.
No, it's fine, madam.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yes?
Thank you, madam.
Okay. What section is it, by the way? 160, just read 160, is it 167 or 6? 166 or 7? Let's read it.
May I
Yeah.
quickly?
Yeah, let's read it. Okay. Here's the Bible. Section? Oh, look quite a. This book is.
166.
166.
Cross-examination and re-examination of.
Yeah, what will it say? Let's read.
It says, subsection 1,
Yeah.
an accused may cross-examine any witness called on behalf of the prosecution at criminal proceedings, or any co-accused who testifies at criminal proceedings, or any witness called on behalf of such co-accused at criminal proceedings, and the prosecutor may cross-examine any witness, including an accused, called on behalf of the defense at criminal proceedings. And a witness called at such proceedings on behalf of the prosecution may be cross-examined by the prosecutor on any matter raised during, may be re-examined by
yeah.
the prosecutor on any matter raised during the cross-examination of that witness, and a witness called on behalf of the defense at such proceedings may likewise be re-examined by the accused. In subsection 2, the prosecutor and the accused may, with leave of the court,
Yes.
examine or cross-examine any witness called by the court at criminal proceedings. Then subsection 3A, if it appears to a court that any cross-examination contemplated in this section is being protracted unreasonably and thereby causing the proceedings to be delayed unreasonably, the court may request the cross-examiner to disclose the relevancy of any particular line of examination and may impose reasonable limits on the examination regarding the length thereof or regarding any particular line of examination. And subsection B,
Him, how many times subsequent thereto he has appeared in court giving evidence? It's only fair that he must refresh his mind, and then you can re-cross-examine him, because that is re-cross-examination. Okay. It's not examination in chief by the state. It's not cross-examination in chief by the state. Neither is it cross-examination by you, Mr. Mnisi. What you are doing to this witness, you are re-cross-examining him on issues which you have traversed. And now you are saying you want to fill in some pockets. No problem. Let him refresh his memory and you can revisit the re-cross-examination. Okay.
With due respect, Mother, I think there's a point where me and the court do not have sufficient consensus, where we do not understand each other.
No.
Maybe it's the way in which I'm expressing myself. Maybe it's the
fine.
way in which the court interprets what I'm saying.
Yeah, fine.
But I am not saying that through this testimony, through my asking of this witness questions, my cross-examinations, I want to fill in certain things. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, fine. But you have heard me there. That's my ruling.
Thank you, Madam.
Yes, Mr. You can arrange that date. Okay, no problem.
As a court, please, can we then adjourn at this stage until Monday
Okay.
for the resumption of the cross-examination of Lieutenant Colonel Coase?
Okay. House. It's coming on Monday, no?
I'm sorry?
Monday.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Okay, you say you must adjourn until Monday then. Thanks. Okay.
Thank you. I need to see you. Good afternoon. Mrs. Gracia Michelle, or shall I say Mama Gracia? Premier Namuso, I feel as though I know you already. Leaders of government, all. Members of the Mandela family. Members of the Zuma family. My friend who last hosted me 20 years ago on my last trip to South Africa, Mr. Trevor Emmanuel and his wife. Can I just simply say Prof now? And of course, the other members of the Board of Trustees of the Nelson Mandela Foundation, and Salo, I can call you that in front of everyone now too. Some may say that it is because I haven't quite been able to get the, and if they say so, they're correct. But let me say good afternoon to all of you, and to say truly what a distinct honor and privilege it is to be here today. I want to salute our very own young Barbadian student, Oleta, who stood earlier, and her mother. You will forgive me if I feel a little old because her mother was in school with me. It is a recognition of the passage of years. But let me start by saying how honored I am this afternoon. I truly consider this one of the privileges of my life. And I say so with all humility, because there are few people who I believe have stood out as a moral colossus on the global landscape. And Nelson Mandela stood as one of those men. The truth is that I'm distinctly honored as well to be here in KwaZulu-Natal. The Premier has already laid out why this location today is also special. Special for her as the first Premier of this province, special for me as the first female Premier of this province, I should say, special for me as the first woman leader of Barbados, special because in a very real way, this marked the red line in the sand given the arrest of Nelson Mandela in this province. But special also because it is the home of Mahatma Gandhi, who is equally in that pantheon of global heroes who have inspired us to a higher and better purpose in all that we do. I do not believe that anything is therefore by accident. And then, to that extent, I do not believe therefore that the message is inappropriate, ill-placed, or ill-timed. For to be here in this place at this time to speak to this matter of justice and solidarity is, in my view, one of those things that can perhaps be viewed as preordained. The battles have been long. The battles have been strong. And one of the things that I've come here today first to have discussion. There's a lot of, as I would say in Barbados, a lot of long talk, a lot of long words in the title. But what we've really come here to talk about this afternoon is justice, fair play, and solidarity. People who don't normally have the power on their own, working together and making that difference. Doing so in the context of calling upon us to summon that will for moral strategic leadership in really what will become not just the battle of our lifetime, but the battle of planet Earth. My friends, I must tell you that I come here today not as a singular Caribbean person dropping from the sky, but as one who comes after the efforts of many across the decades. And it may be useful for me to place context to that struggle, to make 2 points before I get into the meat of what I want to speak with you. And that is to be able to contextualize that in my own country, from the father of democracy, Grantley Herbert Adams, in his early days, both as Premier of Barbados and then as Prime Minister of the West Indies Federation, and to those countries who took action in 1959, July, after the All Africa December 1958 Congress in Accra, Ghana, where Barbados, Jamaica, Grenada and Dominica took action to ban South African goods in solidarity with the people of South Africa. Recognizing that though there were thousands of miles away, there was an injustice being perpetrated, man's inhumanity to man, that required people who had little power to take a stand and to say, wrong is wrong. And their efforts were soon followed months later in April of 1960 in our sister island in Trinidad and Tobago, where the dock workers of Trinidad refused to take the cargo from South Africa off the ships in April of 1960 and refused to refuel.
Wurst ist ja gut, Wurst ist ja gut. Das ist Wurst, ja. Das ist Wurst, ja. Das ist Wurst.
Boost, the great tasting vitamin boost.
Refuel the ship that had brought the cargo, recognizing that even though they were dock workers and not capable of great and grave decisions, they could do what they could within the space that they could. And their work was to be followed then, of course, by that titan of Caribbean revolution and social reform, Fidel Castro, El Comandante, who worked then with that other great Caribbean titan, Michael Manley of Jamaica, well known perhaps to many of you. And of course our own father of independence, Errol Walton Barrow, who worked with Fidel Castro in the struggle for the liberation of the peoples of Southern Africa by allowing the planes that left Havana, Cuba, to refuel in Bridgetown, Barbados, in order to bring the troops in to Southern Africa, and in particular, Southwestern Africa. And then, of course, there was the decision of the Commonwealth heads of government. And I remember as a young law student in London, caught up in the fervor of the anti-apartheid movement, and caught up in the passion of wanting to see your own imagery on television, because in those days you just didn't. And when we saw the students of South Africa week after week rise up to take their future into their own hands, it placed the pressure on leaders like Margaret Thatcher and others, such that by the time the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting went to Nassau, Bahamas, a determination was made to establish the Eminent Persons Group. and in that eminent persons group, co-chaired by Malcolm Fraser of Australia and Chief Obasanjo of Nigeria, it also included a woman who was to become the first Governor General of Barbados, Dame Nita Barrow, who came here as one of the 7 persons to determine whether there could be a platform for talks and for release in order to ensure that the ungodly and unconscionable actions of apartheid could be brought to an end. Regrettably, their work was to be stymied by the then government, but they were capable and able at the time to meet Madiba. And it is instructive what they wrote in their unanimous report about Madiba in 1986, and I quote, "Having visited him on 3 occasions, what was their assessment? That he impressed us as an outstandingly able and sincere person whose quality of leadership were self-evident. We found him unmarked by any trace of bitterness, despite his long imprisonment. His overriding concern was for the welfare of all races in South Africa.